Can a gamer be a gambler? Will they be gambling? This is a very complicated question, but also so simple. Before we discuss this, what defines a gambler or even gambling? Of course, gambling or even a gambler is a verb for the word gamble. And the definition of gamble, which you'll see for most of this video, is one, plays games of chance for money, or which is a bet. And a bet is a sum of money on a game of chance. Or the second one, takes risky actions in hope of a desired result. Now, that second definition is what we're going to be mainly looking for. Of course, the first one also will play part in some aspects, but we'll see how far we can go with this. Now, before we begin in video game topics, I'm going to relate to an easy situation of gambling. Magic the Gathering. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm bringing up this game. It's simple. It's a game that most gamers will actually play. And a gamer doesn't have to only play video games or handheld games, phone games. A gamer can easily just play Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Dungeons and Dragons, board games, etc., etc. And being Magic is the most common of trading card games, it's actually also simple to know its ratios. A Magic booster typically, more or less, is about $4, maybe $5 of a normal price. This is not including tax or anything, it's a rough estimate. Each booster contains 15 cards. Within those 15 cards, we have 1 land, 10 commons, 3 uncommons, and then either 1 rare or even mythic rare. Now, I have found the statistics of how to pull a rare or mythic rare. It's actually a 7 in 8 chance to pull a rare, or 1 in 8 chance for a mythic. I don't know if that's the example of the booster they gave of Shards of Allura block, but those are actually some risky chances. Now, why am I bringing this up? Let's go to the point of saying you need a rare for a deck, and you want to pull it because you don't want to buy the card. You think you can pull it. And let's just say, for easy sakes, that each booster is $4. Now, with $4, you buy a booster, and essentially the 10 commons potentially pays for about $1 of that pack. The 3 uncommons more or less might fix the price into $1. So already you make $1 value. But you're not looking for value in the pack, you're looking for a rare. Now, this is where things can get complicated. Let's say the rare you want to pull, is $20. And you justify yourself by saying you're going to buy 4 packs. In total, that's $16. You're hoping to make a profit of $4 off of 1 card. Now, I specifically said rare. Not mythic, not in the rare slot, specifically rare. We're starting with rare because it's a simple solution. It's a 7 in 8 chance, apparently according to on a Google search for Magic Booster contents. So, you have a 1 in 15 chance, you think, of pulling the rare you need. Now, you already could say, I'm already pulling a land, so in a way, it's 1 in 14th chance of pulling the rare I need. Of course, you're not looking at it as everything in the booster. You more should be looking into what are the chances of you pulling the rare you want. For simple math, we're going to say the set contains 10 rares. With that being said, you would think the chances would be 1 out of 10 chance to pull the rare. Now, every set also has mythic rares, and the mythic rare could actually fill in the slot of the rare. Again, for simple math, we're going to say that there are 10 mythic rares in the set. That's a total of 20 cards that could fill that slot. In a way, you have a 1 in 20 chance to pull the rare you want. If the card is a rare in the pack, you have a 1 in 10 chance, of course. Now, with that being said, there are still chances you won't pull the card you want. And let's say you don't. You don't pull the rare you need, and for sure, you didn't pull anything that's any good or valuable. Most Magic players will decide if they want to buy more packs depending on how much is left in the box. Majority of players will buy more packs. They go, oh, I didn't pull what I want, but there could be a chance that I would pull something better. So they will buy 4 more packs. By default, we already have the second definition of gamble, taking a risk. You're risking of trying to pull a valuable card or a card you want by justifying that you could easily take the statistics of what's left in the box and buying what you can. Already, you've already spent another $16. That is roughly $32 spent to try to pull one rare or even anything of value. Now take it for granted, if you pull something of value, that's good for you. If you pull the rare you want, that's fantastic. But you just bought 8 packs to try to do that, when you could have easily just bought the rare. Now, this is where things actually get complicated. The mythic slot. If you want a mythic rare, you would think 1 in 20 chance, right? Wrong. The mythic is an alternative slot for the pack. It's either a rare or mythic. Mythic being a higher standard to rare. It's supposed to be harder to pull. In a way, it's a 2 in a 20th chance. I say 2 in a 20th because you have a chance for the mythic to show up. That's already the 1 in potentially 20 chance. Now, if it is a mythic slot, that's where the second comes in. So in a way, it's a 1 in 20 chance, and then a 1 in 10 chance. It's easy just to say, as a quick think process, 2 in 20 chance. Now, if you're trying to pull the mythic, this is also harder. You might just not buy 8 packs if you're trying to pull a mythic. You could have this addictive personality that you think you could pull it. You could think you can get it. You think you could get the value. You buy more packs. You buy more than 8. Suddenly you're potentially at maybe buying 26 packs. I'm not going to do the math how much that is. But the other thing to consider is that each box only can have 2 mythics. And I believe a box has 36 or maybe even 24 boosters. So you have a 2 in a 24 chance or 2 in 32, whatever the amount of a box is. You have to consider that into factor. You also have to consider if anybody else has pulled a mythic, or even the card you want. Heck, we could even look into people that try to pull commons or uncommons, but the ratios are actually a lot harder. In fact, you could buy 10 packs, and you will only see 1 common out of all those packs that you pulled. It may sound unusual to say that you might not pull multiples of the same common, but the fact is if you're trying to pull one particular card, it could be harder. What does that relate to video games? Well, we'll get that in a moment, because we're going to jump into Overwatch. Overwatch has loot boxes. Now, of course, every loot box, you have the chance of pulling 4 items that you might want. Well, 1 in 4 items that you want. So it's a 1 in 4 chance of any cosmetic that you potentially want. But now we're looking at what the spectrum of that is. It may seem like 1 in 4 chance to pull the skin you want. But you forgot to consider the rarity of that skin. How many skins are, how many cosmetics are in Overwatch. Now let's say you do consider that into factor. Let's just say you know that there's a lot of skins that you could pull out of them, a lot of sprays, and you risk it. You spend $2 to get 2 loot boxes, because that's the lowest you can put money into. You think you have better odds at that point, right? You forgot to put in the consideration of player icons. They're also in there. Now let's say you're trying to go for an epic. I have not done the math for this, but there are almost over 300 cosmetics, and each character has a different rarity for their skin. If you're trying to pull an epic, you're potentially trying to go through all those other epics, all those other sprays, emotes, highlights, player icons, etc., etc. Your chances are going up every time you try to buy. Well, Yes and no, actually. You're either trying to go higher into Trident pulling it or lower, because I almost forgot. Overwatch, you can't pull duplicates too often anymore. And that's a factor we're going to have to keep in mind in a later business for this video. Now, you could potentially go $2 buy 2 loot boxes. See what you pull. You didn't pull the skin, let's say. You put 2 more in, and you get 2 more boxes. You didn't pull what you got. You put 2 in. 2 more dollars in to get 2 more boxes. Eventually, you're going to $8. Does this sound familiar? It's almost the same as Magic. You're buying, quote, boosters to try to pull a skin or anything you want. You're taking a risk at your own money to potentially pull what you want. Now, I'm going to bring up the fact of the first definition, play games of chance for money, bet. You're not playing to sell these things. I mean, of course, in Magic, you could pull a really expensive card and sell it, but you can't do that in Overwatch. But you are putting money into the game for a chance to get what you want, and you're taking the risky action in hope of a desired result. You're potentially combining both definitions into one. And the thing with Overwatch, though, the one thing we can absolutely consider is that you can't get duplicates too often. You might think that increases your chances and everything. Yes, it does. It actually absolutely does, and I'll agree with that. But there's another thing that Overwatch has that's different compared to Magic. In-game currency. Magic doesn't have in-game currency. It's a physical trading card game. In fact, your in-game currency is your actual money. It's different. Of course, in Overwatch, with in-game currency, you can buy the skins you want. You can buy the emotes you want, as long as you have enough. But how do you get coins? There are only 2 ways. You either pull them, or you get duplicates. Now you just realize there's a higher risk taker since you can pull coins. Now, what does this mean, though, when I bring up the fact of coins? Well, before the duplicate issue that was going on with majority of players, you would pull duplicates to get a lot of coins, and by the time an event happened, you could potentially buy maybe 2, sometimes 3 epic skins that are for the event. But now there's no duplicates. Or should I say, there's a low chance of getting duplicates. I'm going to bring up the summer games for a reason. At that time, I wanted 3, maybe 4 skins. Near the end of the event, I didn't pull any. And normally with every event, I would just buy the skin I want. However, near the end of the summer games, I did not have enough coins for at least 1 epic skin. I got coins through duplicates. I had to grind through an arcade process to get 3 wins to get a box and hope to get a duplicate, because the event was going to end in a few hours. I got very lucky and got coins, and I bought 1 skin. Now, here's an alternative risk taker. Let's say I couldn't get another box. Let's say I couldn't level up. I turn to my wallet, I get my card, and I spend $10 to get 11 crates. Granted, each loot box is $1, so you're saving $1 to get a free box. Out of those 11 boxes, no duplicates, no coins. And let's say I didn't pull any of the 3 skins I wanted, and I really want it. I could easily just go, oh, I could put $2 more in. So I put $2 more in. And let's say no duplicates, no coins, no skins. At that point, you've already taken a risk with already $12, roughly. And people could keep going and going and going and trying to get either coins or even the skin they want. In fact, buying the skin you want could also be a risk taker. During the summer games, yes, like I said, I got the coins I needed at the end and bought my skin I wanted. Of course, I didn't get the 2 other skins that I wanted. But at that point, I came to realize that coins are actually very essential in the game for skins. I had to consider that there was a potential chance there could be an event in between summer and Halloween. So I started saving up my coins and saving and saving and saving. By the time the Halloween event came, I barely had enough for a skin. And I wasn't able to purchase a skin. If I remember though, I did pull some of the skins I wanted though. So I got lucky. But the fact is, it took me months to bring up at least 3,000 coins, which is normally the amount for an epic skin, or even a legendary. That takes a while. And that's a risk taker that you had to consider, that you would have to wait an entire year to get the skin you want again. And that's a long time. Now, on the point of duplicates, I have noticed in Call of Duty World War II that you can get duplicates, and you get in-game currency. What I don't know is if that in-game currency can buy you cosmetics. But even on the topic of other games, games like Call of Duty World War II or even Star Wars Battlefront 2 have these boxes, and you always have the stride that you want something. And some people will buy them. People will buy what they need to get what they want. Now, what happens if an event happens between these two games? What happens if, like, for Call of Duty World War II, there's a Christmas event where your soldier could be wearing a Christmas hat, and you have to pull it from one of these supply crates? People could think this is the only time you could get this, and they could just start putting money into these boxes and start trying to pull the risk factor of trying to pull the hat and get the duplicate. Now, like I said, I don't know if the in-game currency can buy you cosmetics or anything. That's something I don't fully know, so I can't back up that situation. But even with Star Wars, where it's a game I haven't played, but where the controversy is that it's almost a pay-to-win game. In fact, majority of my friends have been saying that recently, that it's a pay-to-win, and they've been trying to fix it with in-game currency. But the in-game currency are things called crystals. And as far as I know, to get crystals, you have to put money into the game. Of course, like I said, I don't know much about Star Wars Battlefront 2. I do not know if you can get in-game currency through other means. But so far as I know, is you're putting money into it to get these items within the game. And the thing with Star Wars Battlefront 2 is I've been told that these are actually game-changing stuff. Like, you could buy a unit crate and get a unit that would help you out. Now, I made this topic in my last video. If you haven't seen that video, I strongly suggest you watch it. It brings up a lot of key points of what gambling is and if the loot boxes systems are gambling. But I wanted to bring up the point if a gamer could be a gambler. Yes, absolutely. There's absolutely no way that you could say that a gamer can't not be a gambler. Heck, I have even gambled in Magic itself. I wanted to pull a card that was a 1 in 3 boxes of pulling. And I started buying boosters like crazy. Within a month, I believe I bought about maybe $40 worth of boosters. Which seems like a lot for most. But for some Magic players, it could be considered low. Well, for someone that's on a tight budget all the time, that's a lot. And all that money could have been used for groceries, could have been used for college, could have been used for anything else that would help you out. So you're risking your own money to try to pull into something you want. And it's exactly what gambling is. As soon as you put $1 into any game, you might as well be playing slots. It doesn't matter if you're putting money into a game for in-game currency. You're gambling. Now, of course, there are the occasional things where games actually allow you to put money into the game to buy stuff within the game. I do not consider this game gambling at that point. A perfect example, actually, is Warframe. Warframe, in order to buy certain items, or even just to help you out, you need platinum to buy certain things, or even upgrades. Now, of course, you can get platinum through other means by selling certain things to other players that have platinum and whatnot. It's a big commonly use. But some players will actually put money into the game to get items within the in-game currency. Of course, this money goes into the developers and everything for the company, etc., etc. But the other thing that you have to keep in mind is Warframe is a free-to-play game. Now, the difference between this, though, and maybe some other games, and I can't give an example, is that I have justified myself to put only about $15 worth of in-game currency in the game because I supported it. And that was about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I haven't been needed any other use for my in-game currency. In fact, I still have in-game currency from the last time I played in case I need for an emergency. Oh, sorry, not played, bought. And I might do it again this year since I've been playing the game again. But there are some games where it is you put money into the game to play, and that's still risk-taking because you're trying to win. And you are trying to get from your own benefit. So what does this all mean, though? In conclusion, it is absolutely true that a gamer can be a gambler. It doesn't matter if you're not playing to get money. You're gambling at a different spectrum and a different point of view. Whether it's Magic, Overwatch, Star Wars Battlefront, Call of Duty World War II, any game that has a system of where you are going in blind to get something. If it's a cosmetic, if it's something physical, anything. It is considered gambling. And I will quote and repeat the definition of gambling, or gamble. Plays games of chance for money, bet, which bet is a sum of money on a game of chance. And the second definition, take risky actions in hope of a desired result. Those are the definitions. I have gave perfect examples of how those definitions can be used. In fact, both of those definitions could be combined into one for such instance of examples. But of course, all this also has to determine whether you think so or not. I cannot tell you that my opinion is correct. And I cannot say that your opinion is wrong. But I gave my opinion hope to help others, and hope to put an end to what is going on with the gaming community between these loot boxes and everything. So with that, I'll see you in the next video.